Hello everybody, good morning and welcome back. We are officially on day 5 of eating for $35 a week from Dollar General, and it's crazy how fast this week is going by. But I am overall insanely happy with how the meals have been so far. I do have a dentist appointment today. They're going to be replacing my temporary crown with a permanent one, and I don't know how that's going to go. I don't know how it's going to affect how I feel the rest of the day. So I just want to give you guys a heads up that I might have to switch to eating soft foods depending on how this goes. This is my first time having a crown done, so I don't really know what to expect. When I got the temporary one, they did a temporary one and a filling the same day. I was in the chair for about 2.5, almost 3 hours, and I was incredibly sore after that. I didn't want to eat anything. I'm hoping that's not the case today. I hope it's quick and painless relatively. But let's get started on some breakfast because I do have to head out in about 40-ish minutes to go to the dentist. I'm going to use some of the leftover hash brown casserole mixture. I divide it into 3 containers for 3 different meals. We're going to make something of a breakfast casserole out of this, and then I'll probably end up topping it with a fried egg because a fried egg generally makes things better. I kind of double strength on the coffee, and I think I like this a lot better. I prepped it like a cold brew last night and let it sit in the fridge overnight. I did 2 packets of coffee, 2 packets of creamer. As you can see, I didn't use all of it. My intention was to use it over the course of 2 days, but it is, maybe it's just growing on me. It's really good this morning. And this is my breakfast hash brown casserole with a fried egg on top. I haven't had sausage at all this week either, so the sausage is smelling amazing. The only thing it can maybe benefit from is some ketchup or some hot sauce, but you guys hear me say that a lot because I could pretty much eat those on anything. Otherwise, it is amazing as it stands. It might be my favorite breakfast so far this week, or it might be tied with the beans on toast with a fried egg. Not super sure about that yet. We'll see how long it keeps me full for because that's a big factor for me. The beans on toast kept me full for a really, really long time. And then I do have enough of this to have it again for breakfast tomorrow morning as well. Back from the dentist, everything went fine. It was not as bad as I thought it was going to be. It was literally just popping off the old crown, fitting for the new one, and all of that. But it's lunchtime, so I want to get started on that. Excuse my hair, I just washed it, but I need to go ahead and get lunch ready. I can dry it later. I need to start using up some of this rice, especially with the shift in mentality from make this last 7 days to how many days can this actually last me. So let's cook some rice. So same kind of situation as the first day of the week. I am doing the Campbell's beef and barley soup over rice. I did add some sour cream to it. I've never done that before, so we'll see if that's good. I imagine that it will be. I honestly can't tell if I like the sour cream in this or not, and between the two soups, I definitely think that the ham and bean soup was way better than this beef and barley. So in hindsight, I probably should have just gotten 2 cans of that, or maybe something different, who knows. But not really feeling this one, and I think it might be the soup, but I'm not super sure. I'll have to try it tomorrow without the sour cream and see how different that is. I think ultimately I'm gonna end up just eating this like chips and dip with the sour cream and onion chips. That actually made it a lot better, so I'm much happier with it with the chips than I was just by itself. So here we are, dinner time at the end of day 5, and I currently have all of the food that I have left sitting out in front of me right now, which is why I am more than optimistic that this could potentially continue to day 8 or day 9. I do have some kind of odds and ends here, a lot of different Tupperware containers, so there are some things that I need to start using up, specifically some of the refrigerated items, which leads me into the dilemma of what I'm going to make for dinner tonight. I have the leftover tuna casserole from yesterday, and I do need to use that, but I'm not really wanting to eat it a second time, basically. So maybe we can try to transform this into something different. I did find some recipes online for like a tuna chowder, and this has a lot of the kind of elements in it, so I could potentially turn it into a soup. Another dinner that I'm not too pressed about making, but that I do want to make is a kind of ham, broccoli, and potato soup using the broccoli cheese soup mix. And I've got the Hashbrown casserole, I have some broccoli that I can use, and of course my deli meat over here. I'm only halfway through my dozen eggs, so I could potentially incorporate those into some dinners, and I still have an entirely unopened box of macaroni and cheese too. I am really leaning towards the chowder idea for dinner tonight. I do have a little bit of the cream of chicken soup still left. I've obviously got peas and green beans that I could kind of toss in there. Potatoes would be nice. I even have some leftover cheese powder from the macaroni and cheese. If I wanted to bulk it out even further, I have some cooked rice from lunch today. We're gonna nix the tuna chowder idea. I stumbled across a different idea when I was looking for uses for leftover tuna casserole, and it's gonna be weird. I'm gonna just preface it with it's gonna be weird. So we can all agree that mac and cheese grilled cheese exists, and then we can all agree that tuna melts exist as well, which is, you know, hot tuna and cheese on bread. Since tuna casserole is essentially a tuna mac and cheese, I'm thinking we can do a tuna casserole grilled cheese. And it sounds weird, but I think it's gonna work. I guess we'll see. I am gonna talk my way through this one just because I know it's a weird idea. And I do want to kind of explain my thought process as I'm doing things. So this is the leftover tuna casserole. It is a little on the dry side as it's been sitting in the fridge overnight. So I do want to add some extra moisture to it so that I don't end up with a dry sandwich. This is somewhat of a realistic situation where, you know, you're a few days away from your grocery trip, you're kind of down to odds and ends, and you're just trying to use up what you've got without wasting any food. So I definitely could have just reheated this and eaten it, but I thought that this would be a more interesting way. So I do have some more cream of chicken soup. I mentioned yesterday that I wished I had added more, so I'm gonna go ahead and add some of this in as well, along with a touch more sour cream, again for moisture. And I'm just gonna go ahead and finish off the cheese powder in here. I don't wanna use all of my shredded cheese. I am trying to save it, especially now that I'm just gonna continue this until I pretty much run out of food. So we'll add a little bit of extra cheese to it, but not a lot. Here we go with my totally unhinged tuna melt grilled cheese sandwich. It actually looks pretty good. I haven't even posted this video yet, and I can feel the judgment. I can feel it. It doesn't look that bad though. It actually looks kind of good. The only thing I'm concerned about is the peas. I feel like that might be a little weird, but as far as the tuna and the mac and cheese, it should be pretty normal. It's not bad.
You put peas in it?
Well, there's peas already in the tuna casserole. I wasn't gonna pick out all the peas.
Ew.
It'll be fine. It'll be fine. Okay, let's give it a try. I don't know yet. Stop rushing me. It tastes like what you would imagine tuna casserole between a grilled cheese would taste like. It tastes like tuna casserole. The grilled cheese part of it doesn't really come through as much as I would have hoped. It probably could have added some more shredded cheese. The tuna flavor is there. So it's not kind of masked by the added ingredients that I put in there. But again, I feel like this comes down to leftovers being more valuable when you're on a tight budget and you're trying to make your food go as far as possible. This is passable, but it is not great. And I feel like that's okay. Not everything in life, not every meal has to be perfect or great. Sometimes you just need something to eat, and maybe you have some kind of weird things in your fridge and you just need to throw something together. I could have just reheated the tuna casserole. That would have been fine. This is okay, but it's not great. Hopefully now the judgment has been lifted off of me, because I'm not going to pass this off as the greatest invention ever. With that being said, that is where I'm gonna leave you guys off today. I hope you are having a fantastic day, and I will see you again tomorrow.